Okay. All right. So now I got to get to the fan questions. All right. The fan questions, the questions people want to know. So Kanye West, he donated to your campaign. What was that experience like? What was some type of conversation that you had with Kanye?
It was interesting. So Kanye, for a while, I guess he was talking about coming back to Chicago. He wants to come back to Chicago and give back to the city. He's a native son. He's from here. So the way that it happened was pretty random. I literally got a phone call out of the blue, and he said when we talked that he had been talking to other people in Chicago, and as he was thinking about coming back, and he really wants to try to help the city and invest in his city, that my name kept coming up in these different conversations. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. So as far as people who are doing things in the city, my name kept coming up. And so somehow he got my number, and that's how he ended up calling me. So it was kind of out of the blue. And then when we met and talked, he's someone who has big visions for what he wants to do, how he wants to give back. Obviously, he's an artist who's from Chicago. He's made it big. He's has his Yeezy. He's got companies. He has all of these things that he's been able to accomplish, and he wants to give back to the city that reared him. And so the conversations were just big vision, like someone who doesn't have limitations on what's possible. That's very refreshing to me, because oftentimes in Chicago, everything is so limited by constraints. There's no money, there's not enough this, there's not enough that, and that can be soul crushing. Mm-hmm. But with him, it was just all of these possibilities and thinking big, thinking beyond, thinking outside the box. That was our conversation. We didn't even talk about endorsements or support. We didn't really talk politics. We just talked about what can we do in Chicago and the vision that we have for the city. And so it was very refreshing.
So, with this vision, do you think he's actually going to stand on that vision? We haven't seen Kanye in months.
Well, it's hard to tell. I think that he was definitely sincere. Uh-huh. In our conversations, he was very sincere. Obviously, there are things that are outside of, I don't know what his situation is or timeline or anything like that, but I just know that when we talked, he was very sincere about wanting to give back to the city in some way. Now, how that manifests, I'm not sure. I think there are many different opportunities and many different ways that he can contribute to the city.